Hey guys, it's Rez. I hope everyone is having a lovely day, fantastic night, whatever time you are viewing this. And if you are new to the channel, welcome to the Resort family. Today's video is not going to be me talking, but I will give you a little synopsis on what the video is going to be about if you have not already read the description. So before I start off my segment of talking, because it's going to be the only segment of me talking, I have been given complete authorization to talk about this within grounds of certain people. So I have found someone who's going to break this down to you without spoiling too much. So that's all I'm going to say in terms on that behalf. So mission 2 was shown to us publicly, and the name of this mission is called Qliphoth. Now, we all know about the tree and the fruit. This is going to be the part 2 version of the yesterday's video. That's all I'm going to say for this portion. Thank you guys, and see you toward the end of the video when I'm saying goodbye. I want you to pay close attention to him, listen, and you know, completely evaluate yourself, your thoughts, and definitely comment. Alright, see you guys.
Well, today I'm going to be talking a little bit about the Qliphoth. Now, to understand the Qliphoth, you have to understand the Tree of Life. Now, the Tree of Life comes from the Kabbalah, traditional Jewish mysticism. Now, through the Kabbalah, it kind of with the Hermetic philosophy, all of that combined became what we now know of as our thinking of the Tree of Life. Now, just to kind of briefly describe the Tree of Life if you're not familiar. The Tree of Life describes how the divine, in order to manifest creation, took divine energy and stepped it down into 10 spheres, which became reality. The 10 spheres were organized into 3 columns. They'll call it the left, the right, and the middle. The top is going to be Kether, and the bottom, which is going to be Malkuth, which is closest to our world. Each of these specific spheres represents a particular spiritual quality, like beauty. I think maybe one's mercy. These particular attributes are imbued into creation. And what we have to do, or I guess what would be the goal of the mystic, the magician, who follows this path, would be to go from Malkuth back up to the tree in a specific order, back to Kether. By going through each of these different spheres, and by the way, these spheres, like I said, represents a spiritual quality. By going through them, almost it's like going through path working. So you can think of them as not only the spheres are something that is inside of us that could be unlocked, but also some people consider them to be a realm. One would go through these specific spheres in order to, gain that particular quality. Each of these spheres are governed by have a divine name, usually some type of name of God, and it has a guardian or an initiator, an archangel, an angel. Could be Michael, could be Gabriel, could be a few different beings. And once you go through one of the Sephirah, then you can, and you kind of pass that go past that one, integrate that energy, you go to the next, until you work your way back up to the tree, to Kether, and at that point, you will have integrated all of the Sephirah that you went through previously in the lower part of the tree, and you would be, I guess some people might consider enlightened or more divinely attuned, Some magicians go through the tree in order to unlock potentials, possibilities, and powers that are in them. By doing that, they hope to achieve better mastery of themselves and the world. So that is the Tree of Life. There is 10 spheres. There are 22 paths, so they call it 32 paths of wisdom. Now, that's the Tree of Life. The other part of this, and by the way, the Tree of Life is almost like the very positive. It's the divine, beneficial, constructive archetype. Now, the other side of this is what's called the Qliphoth. The Qliphoth is not a separate tree. It is considered the backside of the tree. It's referred to by other names: the shadow tree, the dark tree. The centers are considered the realms of the night side. That's another way of describing it. Some consider called the adverse tree or the obverse tree. Obverse tree, if you were to look at a coin, let's say heads, the obverse is tails. So this is the other side of the tree. If you think of the tree as a coin, one side is the Tree of Life, the other side is the Qliphoth. Now for some people, the Qliphoth is the tree they want to work with. They may not be able to stand, I guess, at the light side, who they may have more darkness in them, and they want to work with the Qliphoth. And also understand that there are different ways of working with this tree. Some people will work through the Sephirah of the Tree of Life and the centers of the Qliphoth because they want to understand themselves better. They want to understand the qualities inside of them that these Sephirah are representing. And I can see that that's kind of a valid path, because these in a way are thought to be states of consciousness too. And as we believe what Hermeticism says, as above, so below, so what is within is also without. So what we have within, there's a connection possibly to something external or metaphysical, which is what these trees are about, especially to the magician. The Qliphoth is if you want to do some shadow work. Do you want to work with some of the dark forces and dark qualities of you? Some people want to work with the Qliphoth to work on their anger or understand themselves. They want to work with their anxiety, their depression, their despair, all of that. The emotions with more of a negative connotation than maybe, say, happiness and excitement and bliss and all that type of stuff. So just to know that people are working with the tree for different reasons. So the Qliphoth, also, again, the backside of the tree, 10 spheres. Now, instead of angels guarding and being initiators of these centers, there are demons and demonic spirits. So instead of having Michael and Gabriel and all these different people, you're going to have Satan, you're going to have Baal, you're going to have, I think, Belphegor, you're going to have Lilith, she's fun, and you're going to have Lilith's sister Nama, who are going to be at these different centers. So when you do a path working, when you go through the Qliphoth, you are going to encounter these particular entities, and they're going to be your initiators. They're going to be the ones that is going to help you move to the next one. Now, why would you want to work with the Qliphoth tree? Well, in some ways it's similar to you want to work with the Tree of Life, except again it's slightly different. So the Qliphoth people want to gain ascension, big goal of the Black Magician. They want to gain liberation. They want to obtain the dark magical powers. They want to become more fully alive in their respect and their aspect of darkness. And that is through working through their tree. Now, I myself don't choose to work with the Qliphoth. I can work with my shadow stuff on my own in my own way, but I don't look down on anybody who want to works with the Qliphoth. Actually, I think it's kind of a pleasing type of concept. You know, it's like the yin and the yang of Taoism, of Chinese philosophy. You have the light side, you have the dark side. It's a pair of opposites. We need both. In fact, without both, our worlds are where we are now, and the physical would cease to exist. You know, who would we be if we didn't have the darkness or tension or the opposite for us to push against in order to help us grow and evolve as people? You know, there's a, you know, kind of an old joke is that if people went to heaven, you know, why would you want to go there? It's so slow and there's not much going on, and some people think it's pretty boring. You know, that sort of thing. This is where all the action is on Earth. Again, how would we walk if we didn't have surface tension on our floors and on our streets? I mean, we would slip. It would be like walking on ice. So we actually need both. I don't think the liberation, I don't think the complete dissolution of darkness wouldn't necessarily be the best of all possible outcomes. I guess my personal philosophy. We actually need the differences. We need the diversity. In any case, I don't want to get too far off on my thoughts on that. That is, in a nutshell, the Tree of Life and the Qliphoth.
So that about wraps up everything. If you've made toward the end, thank you so much for watching and supporting the concept and ideology of everything that the devs have put into the game. I'm truly happy, and thank you so much to everyone. I love you guys with my heart. You guys know that. Thank you for watching, and as always, guys, it's been Rizora. See you in tomorrow's video. Bye.